The Royal Horticultural Society have said we are in crisis. The industry is lacking youngsters coming through. This is Eggleston Hall Gardens, and over the next 12 months we're going to take you on a journey of what it's like to run a nursery garden. Upside down, Clara.
Oh no. You put it right where you want it to. Oh, I see it. I've been off for a few days, so give myself.
I'm a lumberjack and I'm alright.
But you wear women's clothing as well?
I do. What the other night though?
I likes work. Watching it. Come on, Clara, hurry up. Get your finger out, Clara.
I feel like an obese person, sorry.
Shut up, Clara. John is spreading some of our potting compost around.
Yeah, this is where I dug out a couple of big shrubs.
Yeah, there's a big old berberis in here, I think. Wygela or something.
Yeah.
We're going to have to replant in here, but it's not sure what with yet. We used to take all the potting compost and old potting compost over and just chuck it away over a big tip we have. This is a tip for like compostable stuff, but in the end,
I can't get it perfect, but
oh no, but it just helps. You know, it looks nice and it goes into the ground, doesn't it?
oh yeah, eventually. Well, I'll be digging it in anyway, so yeah.
Yeah, it's looking fine, John.
Yeah. Can't wait to get on digging the borders.
Yeah. You have to do that. You've done that every year since you've been here, haven't you?
Yeah, they were never originally dug, they were just hoed.
Yeah.
In the first year you couldn't dig them really, so I put cultivators through them. And then the second year I started digging them. Got the air into the borders and made a big difference.
It has certainly made a difference to plant growth.
Oh yeah.
Oh, go on, then, get
Action?
on with it.
Yeah.
Action, yeah.
I want fucking action. I don't know whether you just stand there with your hands in your pocket and good signal. I don't know when I'm meant to
Man
speak.
with his hands in his pocket feels cocky all day. What was that they used to say? Come on then, what are you doing?
Right, so now we're into late February now, and we're going to be taking material to graft the Pisceas. I said last time when we were doing the grafting, you tend to do the Pisceas a bit later. I don't honestly know why. It's just the people who we send it to, it's their personal preference, I think, and sometimes you want to avoid some of the harsher weather for the Pisceas. So what I'm going to be doing with this one, this is Picea orientalis, the oriental spruce. This is a form called Aureus baccata, and it gets in spring. All this new growth is a lovely, really creamy yellowy colour, and it lasts, if we get a nice wet weather and a bit cooler weather, it lasts for bloody weeks, and it's really quite nice. But this one, it's in the border here, it's a bit misshapen, and we'll leave it to take all the grafting now, some of the material. So what I'll do with this one, to get the best, because the oriental spruce can sometimes be a bit of a pig to get a nice shape going on them if you choose some of the wrong material. So what I'm going to do is, because we're going to be taking this branch out anyway, I'm going to be taking a lot of these shoots here. So what they'll probably get grafted, if you see there, we'll graft that shoot, so it's hopefully going to have a nice lead. It'll be easily trained up like that from a real quite nice tree. I'll just go along and I'll pinch out all these sort of tip pieces here to be grafting, because that's it. I think we're going to prune this branch out regardless, so it doesn't actually matter how this one is going to look. And this one, yeah, so I'll do a nice few pieces of this, and then hopefully get them back in the autumn.
Is that it then?
That's it.
I'm going to go up and have a look at this other post here. Matthew doesn't want any of that then?
No, he doesn't want any of this one. He has plenty of it.
The fastigiata?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to show people what it looks like, because it's a cracking thing.
Yeah. So before Martin shows you the spruce that he's going to see, he's walked past these and he couldn't help but want to talk about them, because what we did here, this entire border along the stream, it was planted up with hostas, and apart from the good bastard inula that's in the ground there.
That thing?
Yeah, the inula.
You can't get rid of that. Lisa likes that.
Yeah.
Lisa Magnifica, twat of a plant.
Yeah. And yeah, so we planted these 4 cryptomerias here. We've got, starting at Sekansugi at the end there, Cristata, that...
Hold on, I've got to get around there.
And this one is called Rasen Sugi, and it really is quite fantastic looking plant. It has this real contorted look to it, but it's also very, very upright and very, very strong growing. When we first got it off our friends down south who we send material to, he sent up a spiralis, but spiralis more starts off as a little ground hugger and then goes up and forms this lovely dense pyramid. So I knew this one definitely can't be that, and I believe it was one called Rasen. And they've been in maybe 5 years now, and yeah, they're really getting away quite quickly now. But this one, yeah, it's just a really nice one. When I was at Hilliers, they had 2 planted side by side that were about 20-30 feet tall, and they were really quite fantastic things.
You have to go on about fucking conifers a lot, don't you? They're almost bloody masturbatory.
Yeah, it's fine.
What are you looking at? Get your finger out, Clara. Yeah. What about this one then? Well, I've got the camera, we might as well talk about that one.
I ain't got a lot of things to say about it. We got it labelled with blue diamond, but that didn't exist. So I got bastard blue in it. To me, this is something box on the Cryptomeria. Still very nice. But
Yeah, the Cryptomeria, the name is the Japanese cedar, isn't it?
yeah.
And you can apparently cut right back into the old wood. And look, it's doing that brown thing. Somewhere they put these brown branches on them for no apparent reason. But they just come out. Thank you, Thomas. I'll go back to my spruce now. Let's go and see what Monkey Nuts is doing. Come on, Clara.
Put them all away. There we go. Look at those sweet peas down there. They're growing. You did them. Actually, I did them also.
Because you moved the barrow so that you just get down there a bit, please.
Oh,
But,
there you go.
oh, I can't get through there.
It's alright, you lanky person.
Right. Yeah, these sweet peas are autumn sown, and they're all nice gold medal varieties. Supposedly really well scented. Some of them are modern ones like roses. They don't always have the scent, and I can't imagine why they don't have the scent. Just stay there. Oh no, they're not in flower, are they?
No. You know, I like these. I'm going to give them to my boyfriend.
What, in case his knickers fall off? It doesn't work. Right. Anyway, the plant that I'm really wanting to show you, when people have a passion for like Italian gardens and they put in these cupressus sempervirens, it's like a pencil conifer. Instead they could use these. These are straightforward piceas. Just an ordinary Christmas tree, but it's a fastigiate one. And it doesn't blow out as much as the cupressus. It has a wonderful shape to it. And it gives very much the same effect, and you can wire it to make it even thinner. But the other one, because the length of the branches that go upwards on the cupressus, if you get one or two that blow out, it gives you bare patches. And it doesn't always take well to cutting back. So here we have these, you can actually nip them back and do all sorts with them and tie them in. It's a plant I particularly like.
Fortunately, with the high winds we've had over the past week, we've lost this very old acacia tree, which was planted, I believe, by Mrs. Gray's either mum or dad. One of them was very interested in horticulture. It's sad to see it, but it's died, it's rotted away at the base, and the winds have blown it over. So unfortunately I've got to take it all down, and I shall log up, as you can probably see on the floor there. I'm logging up as I go along, and I'm pulling the small branches off which will go onto the bonfire, and they're going onto the wheelbarrow. So it's just a matter of working through it now. Takes a little while.
I have always had dogs, particularly Jack Russells, Spaniels as well. But for us at Eggleston, they are invaluable because, as I've said before, come on, hey, come on, fuck off, you're not going up there. You do have to keep a lid on them. They can be little buggers, can't you? These are grouse moors, and I don't want them flying off all over there because there will be traps and snares set here and there. But they are, for us, they are a woodchuck, go fight. They are invaluable because they keep the rabbits down. They are also wonderful characters, all different. Tucker there, he's a wonderful little rabbit dog. Hunt all day. You're a little hunter, aren't you? Sometimes you're a word that rhymes with hunt. I don't know what I'd do without him. Saved me thousands of pounds over the years. Pepper you've already seen because she does the mouse boxes. Tucker's sister Finn. Oi, come here Finn. Come here. Finny. Now, there's the dog that would run all day. But she's odd. Hey, come here Finny. Yeah. Something nice. Oh, something nice. Some beef. Oh my God, I've said the beef word. That means like anything that's edible. Go fight. Go. Finny is funny. She will catch a rabbit. She will catch most things, but she won't kill anything. She's soppy.
Oh, no, you're beautiful, Helen. You're beautiful. Why are you going away? I bet lots of people like to see Helen.
You are?
Especially in America.
Yeah. Or Jamaica.
I'm sorry, no, don't put that on, please. Don't put that on. I think I'll...
Now look here, these are Nifophias. What are you standing there like you've
Like I'm an
lady?
idiot. I'm an idiot.
Yeah. You're not getting on with them very fast, are you?
Oh, yeah.
Why is nobody doing anything very interesting in here today?
What do you mean? I'm on with conifers, the most interesting thing we have. And don't deny it. You're on with pissing lavenders.
Yeah, I know.
Who cares about them?
I don't fondle them like you fondle conifers.
I don't know, you've been doing some questionable things with them.
I think it's the smell.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to go down and annoy Clara for a bit.
Oh, can you go and...
Can you just show me what you're doing then? These are plug trays. Well, some perennials we run out of and some we're not allowed to grow, so we have to do, they've got PBR, so we have to do them under license, so we have to buy them in as plugs.
That one's a little...
They'll be alright.
I know.
Sticking with another weaker one.
That's one.
Well, show us how to do one, isn't it?
Well, I'm
Sure
just...
that cane's long enough though.
I'm not like... Because they're mostly quite dry, so it's okay. But I'm just taking centaurea out. And then filling a square 9. Making a little hole.
A little what?
Hole. And then just give it a little bit more soil. So I do it fast. And then just... There we go.
That's it. Is that what you were putting up in the polytunnel when I...
No, I was putting a digitalis.
Yeah.
A white flowered foxglove, basically.
Right.
Now I'm doing a tray of these, and then there's other plugs in there.
I'm going out to have a look. Oh, these have come down from Scotland, I think. There's some poppies. Rudbeckia. Echinacea. All very good. In response to some questions we've had, I'm now going to hand you over to Mr. Batty, who is going to show you how to make our mouse boxes.
Okay, fairly straightforward and fairly simple. What I need is 4 pieces of wood 10 inches in length. Then I have 2 tops and bottoms which have been drilled and countersunk with a countersunk piece so that the screw head slits nice and flush. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect the box together . To do that I will need a drill bit, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to match that up with the side, just like so. fairly simple. I've cut everything to start off with, made all the pilot holes, countersunk everything. This means that once the preparation's done, it's all very straightforward to put together. Right. Well, that's our basic box. Now we need to do is the end pieces. Here's one I've prepared already, which I've put a hole in and countersunk it, and I've actually put a nice small hole that a mouse can actually get through into there.
Yeah, the interesting thing is when we originally did them, John put this size hole in and I asked him to make them bigger, and what happened was we started getting wrens in, and of course you don't want to catch wrens and small birds, so it was my fault entirely. But John's got the right sized hole. I was amazed at the size of hole that a mouse can get through.
Yeah, right. I'm going to just finish drilling the second one. I've pre-drilled from the other end, and I'm now just going to...
That's about a 16 mil hole.
I'll tell you exactly what it is. It is... That's a 19.
19.
Yep. So there we go. It is a small hole, very small hole.
But they do get through it.
They do. I don't know how, but they do. So now I've got 2 ends and 2 pilot holes there. So I'll have a screw in each. It's quite simple. That's already measured so it fits nice and neatly. Then all I need to do, turn that back. That doesn't want to be too tight. You've got to be able to open it. That's perfect. Now, so we've got one either end, which allows for two traps to be placed inside. Test that, make sure that's ideal. Basically, it's very straightforward and very simple, but that's all you need to do with 2 traps inside.
And that's it. And you can put a handle on the top if you want.
Yep.
Handle of your choice.
Yep.
And you can use a bit of hose pipe like John's improvised with. As I say, necessity is the mother of invention. And we have lots of old hose pipe around, but it works well.
Yes, I shall put a bit of hose pipe on top for you. So
thank you, John.
They're easy to pick up.
Another cryptomeria. Look at the sunshine on that. Cryptomeria japonica, elegans aurea. It's the golden one of the straightforward elegans, which is this one, which is turning green now. It's been a plummy purple colour all winter. But it's lovely when the sun shines on it. It's beautiful gold colour. And when the rain, I think I've been through this with you before, but for new viewers, when the rain gets on it or there's a heavy dew, each of these needles has like a jewel on it. It just hangs on there beautifully. Very, very pretty thing. This little stump garden is looking nice. You can see the emerald colours of the moss on the stumps. They're really starting to take on some colours now. And this old prunus. Now I'm going to be repeating myself quite a lot. But these old prunus trees, they used to be grafted onto rootstocks that were much stronger than the actual cherry itself, prunus, the flowering cherries. Consequently, you ended up with trunks like this. You see how fat this trunk is, and up the top the branches that come off are much thinner, which makes it look really imbalanced, but you don't really notice it until the plant gets to 30, 40 or 50 years. You used to see these cartoons with people with fat bodies or big bodies and little heads. It's very much like that. It's interesting. It was top work, so it would have been grafted at the top at about 5 or 6 feet high, and then you can see the branches are in no way comparable in vigour or size to the trunk. But it is interesting, and when it's in flower, it is quite stunning. Well done.
Still got more to do.
Yeah, but
The
1 litres are all done.
1.5s and the 3 litres, the hybrids.
You still got
Again,
them.
but I've made sure I've put all the primulas and primroses into their varieties because they're all sort of a bit mixed up, so it took a while, but now they're looking much neater, more professional, and just they will look nice when there's flowers.
They will
on
do.
them.
They will do. There are 3 types of primrose here, or primula. The wild ones is primula. Hang on a minute, I'm explaining it to the viewers a thing.
Primula vulgaris
That's what,
is the primrose.
right? And what's primula veris?
That's the it's like a cowslip, isn't it?
That's a cowslip.
Cowslip.
And then there's primula elatea.
That's like
That's right, oxlip.
it's like a cowslip, but I think it's
It's
more.
It's a
paler.
hybrid between a primrose and a cowslip.
Okay, right.
So you have elatea, veris, and vulgaris. Vulgaris is the pretty little primrose that everybody gets romantic about. There used to
we
be
got the doubles, the primula doubles.
there used to be a bloke. I can't remember what his name was. Like in horticulture, we had a guy called Turnip Townsend, but there was a fellow that just used to paint birds' nests. Yeah, I can't remember what his name is. His name was Bird's Nest somebody, but he always put primroses in them. Or a lot of the pictures he put primroses in. Carry on then, you were saying.
And they're lovely for cottage gardens.
Yeah.
Apparently they're
And
a
bird's nests.
must-have for them. Especially the primroses.
Yeah, they grow nicely under trees and things.
Yeah, and they're very nice. Gives a nice colour. Nice pretty flowers.
Yeah. Look at poor old Lizzie's in there getting wet. And you're just stood here yakking on.
We're getting wet too, silly.
Are you alright, Liz?
Yeah.
Elizabeth.
Putting some geraniums that do in shade in here.
Alright.
Just think of a good thing for show. Some, not others.
So we're putting all sort of shady liking stuff in here. Foxgloves. Ajugas. Euphorbia robiae, that does well in the shade. It's probably why we call it the shade hole. We have a shade hole because it's that big square structure. We have a shade tunnel because it's a polytunnel that's got shade on it. And we have a shade house, which is an old glass house. And I'm always mixing the buggers up. Look, there you are. Yeah, she's made a good job of those, start to finish. That's what you want apprentices doing. You want to be giving them jobs, start to finish, so they can then watch that job throughout the year. They can watch how good the things that they've worked on look. There's no good just giving them umping stuff and the crap things that you don't want to do. Now look at this, these are starting to come. They cut these back, Clara was cutting these back at the same time. These are a little Synthris. What is it? I can't remember what it's called now. Missourianus or something. Beautiful little thing. I'm not fully out yet. It's a little woodlander, and it really does well under little bushes and in shade and things like this. It's a lovely little thing. I really rate it. It's very, very easy to grow. It doesn't seem to have any problems. Lovely plant. So there we are. The job with the lavenders is complete. They've all been potted on. The little ones into 1 litres. There's pinks, there's whites, blues, dark blues, purples, light blues. All sorts. Those are the slightly larger ones. It's nice to see them done. They do like air around their skirts. They do like a bit of air. Well, come on then.
I'm potting up, well, Galatonia candicans.
Galtonia. Yeah.
Candicans. Into 5 litre pots. So, what I'm putting 5 of them in each pot.
Can you speak up a bit? It's like a bloody mouse.
Sorry. Making sure for at least 2 of them deep. So twice the size basically deep. And then with compost. Oh, I need some more compost. And then I'm going to wheelbarrow them. You see all those on the wheelbarrow? Wheelbarrow them up to the garden. Hopefully where the mice and the rats don't go and eat them up.
Well, that was captivating, Clara. Galtonia candicans, sometimes called the Cape hyacinth or the summer hyacinth.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought you said you were doing it after break.
Well, what difference does it make? It goes about as exciting as a wet fart. You're all over the place at the moment. Here, there and everywhere.
I know. Just you can do anything you see, Malcolm. That's it.
Put your hand to anything.
Well, yeah. Right up that way, Malcolm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kids are today, aren't they?
No. But it does look nice now. I'll have to get these irrigation lines sorted out soon, make sure they're all working.
All working. The Nord Mani does look really nice.
They do.
Yeah.
Christmas trees. That must be crackers, but at least they're nice and potted, so you don't have to keep cutting the buggers down. I just need customers to see it that way. Are your pants falling down?
Yeah, losing weight, Malcolm. Working me too hard.
And here, ladies and gentlemen, we have the rose delivery. Let's cross the road. Here they come. These are the David Austin roses that we get in delivered, and yeah, they come readily potted like this, and they obviously wagons have to park in this lay-by. Wait for the car. You'll have to do a cut there, Malcolm. Yeah, and they come all readily potted, and this is how we have to do things. They have to park. I'll try not to get glare. They have to park up in the lay-by here. We have to load them up either into the van or into the old tractor crossing the road. Yeah, this is how it works. And then we sort of end up having have a human chain unload them off the pallet and stick them in the van. Normally the shorter people go in the van.
Look at all these pretty roses.
So now we've got all the roses are in, unloaded. They have to be sorted out. Clara, could you get the bell, please?
Helen's got it.
Oh, Helen's got it. So there. These are put into the way of shrubbery. Have you put these alphabetically, John?
Absolutely alphabetical.
Yes. Oh,
Absolutely.
I put them there as well.
Yes.
Oh God! All right.
I'm teaching Clara.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yes, yes. Yes, we have a list in alphabetical order, so whenever a customer comes in, we can either look at the list and tell her whether we've got it, or we can just work through the alphabet and
Yeah.
easy as pie.
I was being facetious.
You can be as facetious as you like.
I was expecting you to say something sarcastic, like, "No, we've just put them in any old order."
I just throw them in. Yeah.
Leave the young people to do the job.
Speak for yourself.
Leave young people, they've got no brains.
Don't get my arse in it, please.
What do you mean? I don't want to get your ass in it.
Good.
It's Thomas whose ass I'm supposed to be filming, according to somebody.
As long as you don't get my ass in anything.
What is the obsession with asses today?
These are Delphinium Blue Jade, which I propagated from crown buds last July, and now I'm going to pop them up, and they're nice little plants. So they've worked well. Hopefully I've done them better than Malcolm can. But see, we've already labelled them, and then put a bit in compost on the bottom of the pot, and then just make sure that's nice, lean and firm. Right, just make sure it's in the pot properly. Putting compost over it. Okay. What a nice little plant that is. So it will have like a nice pastel blue colour, the flower will, in summer. And we've got plenty more here. And these are the ones that Malcolm potted up for. I think I've done it a bit better.
You cheeky fucker. Go on, piss off back to your knitting now.
Yeah. Called me a wet fart the other day.
So, being soft, when customers buy an Alpine bowl, well sometimes, especially for the elderly, and they don't want to buy a whole bag of Alpine compost, we prepare it here for them. If my cameraman can get a bit closer, she'll see what we do. So first of all, we need to crop the bottom. That's so we get some extra drainage. And we're going to use an Alpine compost, which is, and I'm actually going to add in a little bit of extra of our own mix just to give it a little bit more feed. They're a very nice couple, so I don't mind doing it. And it's quite simple. These are Alpines that we bought, that we produced the end of last year, or the middle of last year. Clara's just managed to throw them off to these people. There we go. So there we have. Then what I'm going to do here is just add in a couple of little stones to add a bit of. In here we'll put this one. We're putting them in slightly proud because we're going to dress this with grit in a minute or two. This is Sempervivum, the house leek, not Crimson Ring this time. This is a little spreader that will spread all over the stones. I'm never quite sure how you pronounce it, but it's something like Rahulii or Rulii. It's not a fun to grow that much because it can get a little bit out of hand. And then we'll just put this one. This one just here. It's worth, if you're not very busy, it's just worth doing these things for customers because it's just a little extra that you won't get in a garden centre. There we go. Now I'm going to get some grit.
That is a very nice selection of alpines, different types. It will do well.
It will. Well, hopefully. Apparently it's for an 80th birthday present, which can't be bad, can it?
In Scotland.
In Scotland?
Yeah.
Well,
They're going to Scotland with this.
Well, they give them a bottle of whiskey as well. I'm just going to dress this, and you can see how it makes it look much more scree-like and natural.
Tamp it.
Tamp it, yep. Just to settle everything. We're not going to water it, obviously, because they'll leave it outside and it's just going to make it extra heavy. There we are. Just clean it up. Job done. An Alpine
done.
bowl.
Good. Right, now we need to go back to the customers.
We are now starting to make some headway. You can see all the paths here are empty. We had perennial plants laid out here, ready for processing. Outside the potting shed is clear. Grasses are clear. No, there's nothing going on in there. Boring. Yeah. So they're coming towards the end of it now, and you can see the wall is clear. Outside the shade house is clear. I know this sounds ridiculous, but we will need all this space once we really start getting active with plants. We have these 2 glass houses to clear out. One of them is just being worked on. They have all the old crocosmias under the bench. They've sat there for the winter, not because they don't like the cold, but because in pots, like a lot of things, they can get waterlogged and then they rot off, or they get weakened to such a state you don't get a healthy vibrant plant. You get some weak, pissy little thing that's forever trying to make up its root growth. There's quite a lot of Crocosmias. But this glasshouse here will be emptied, fully cleaned, sterilised, and this is where the bedding plants will go. Now, we don't do a lot of bedding plants, but we do, well, I don't know, quite a few thousand. But it's not our main income. This is the second one. This also will, it's just being worked through. There are some of the rarer things here. This is a cardiocrinum. It's a Himalayan lily, grows to about 7-8 feet. You wait 6 or 7 years for it to flower, and the bastard dies. It's a monocarpic thing. However, it very often puts on a side shoot, so more about them later in the year. Starting to look really tidy now. I must get this roof fixed and this scaffold put away. The beds are really filling up. We have a look here, and we've been hit by really bad weather, and we've got another storm coming in today. Storm George, I think it is, but it's, well, there you go. There's some weird spelling of George. But you can see we're starting to look full. The fruit trees are, the buds will be fattening on those soon, and the shrubs. So it's a slow process, a very slow process, but it has to be done every year. And you think you're never going to get to the end of it, but it's the last day of February. It's the odd day, it's a leap year, so women can ask me to marry them if they want now, just for today. Can't imagine that at all. So you can ask anybody to marry them now. Apparently that's the tradition. I don't know where that's come from. And the roses are in, and the Alpine benches will be cleared off. The bulbs are starting to really push through. We had imagined after about 6 or 7 weeks of these videos that they would get shorter, because we'd be struggling for stuff to put in. In actual fact, the buggers are getting longer. So I am sorry about that, but we don't seem to be able to fit in all the bits and pieces that we film.
Right, these are Osteospermum jacuntum, and I'm going to pot them individually. So I believe these were taken from cuttings last year, and what I'm doing, knocking them out the pot basically, and trying to get the root gently sort of separate them. So I'll just do it again, show you again. So I'm trying to get my thumb in between the others where the roots are, and just gently, there we go. So we've got 2 nice separate ones. I'm gonna pop them in to these square 9s, and then get your fingers, bit of finger action, put it in like that, and then stay up. Make sure you press it in well so they stand up. And there you go. A nice individual plant which will grow on nicely. Fantastic thing about cuttings. You can easily propagate these osteospermums. Okay. There we go.
I've just spotted some nice double hellebores, which we sell quite a lot of. This is double queen mixed. The seed grown, so You get various colours. I'll try and get under. They're jolly. They last for ages. These ones haven't had, you'd usually cut them back, but we haven't had a chance with these.
You what?
Say when.
You what?
Say when. Oh, she's filming.
Fire away, Elizabeth.
This euphorbia, I'm just going to pot them. It is a variegated one, as you can see. That's gone the other way. Some of it has reverted, so it should be this pinky white. This is probably one of the worst. I picked it out especially. You can. It's quite often it's quite hard to see because it's so branchy. But I'm just grabbing the green ones as opposed to the variegated pinky whitey ones, and getting them right at the bottom because they'll take over. Because they're a lot stronger than the variegated, because they have more chlorophyll, I think will be why.
Did you just shut off a very
No, it was a good bit. I thought it wasn't, but it was. So try and get them right back to the bottom. Actually, it's not that many. They've just been quite branchy. Yeah, so it's not actually too bad. This one's gone the other way. You sometimes get this in hollies. I think it has, so it's all white. Yeah. We'll have that out as well.
So do you like this then?
I like it if it lives. I'd like to see it in a couple of years' time, planted outside, which I think is unlikely. I'm putting them back inside because if they get any snow on them, they'll blurt and destroy them. When you cut these back, whether you can see, can you just see in the bottom there? There's a white, like you get in a dandelion. Dandelion, yeah. That's irritant.
Yeah.
So wear gloves and don't try and avoid having it right near your eyes, which would be
That's
quite.
on nearly all euphorbias, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't start itching your eyes after you've been.
Or anything else.
Or anything else.
Or anything else? Oh yeah.
Yes.
Robert. A lad that was here with us for a long time.
And Roy.
And Roy. Yeah. No. Robert was handling euphorbia, Mercinitis, I think it was. Well, one of the euphorbias, and he went for a wee behind the bush, and then got blisters all over his old man. Did you not know that, Clara? No. Yeah, he went for a wee and he got his todger all blistered up, and then he had to explain to his girlfriend what the blisters on his wadger was.
For weeks afterwards, we asked him, Robert, how's your willy today? Are you alright? How's your willy?
Poor old Thomas. Not Thomas. It wasn't Thomas. I promise it wasn't Thomas. No, who was it? And Roy got it in his eye as well, didn't he? He had to go down. But then, if there was an accident to be had, he would do it anyway. Yeah, I'd forgotten all about that. Robert and his willy. This rainbow, it's been here for the last 10 minutes. Look at this board. What the fucking hell is that? What are you doing? Get up off of there, you'll get bloody wet. You're sacked if you do that again.